And here is where the explosion occurred. As you can see, there is white wall stuffing coating the lawns and streets for hundreds of feet from where the explosion occurred. You can even see that the windows have been blown out of this van. After the parade, people were lining up for Old Town Strong t-shirts, the money of which goes to the New Life Church, who is helping those who've been affected by the fire downtown. Coming soon to the garden is an apple orchard, which will be planted next spring. These buses are built with safety in mind, but it's not just the responsibility of the drivers and the students to keep things safe. And these are where the saws are used to cut through the massive stone. The apples you see on the trees now won't be turned into apple cider vinegar until 2022, after they've completed the aging process. You can find the Darlings ice cream truck in Millbridge tomorrow afternoon and Fort Knox tomorrow evening. In Bangor, I'm Owen Kingsley, WABI TV5 News.
This morning, we had an unfortunate, tragic accident occur here where one of our own, a Farmington fireman, lost his life. Shortly after 8 a.m. Monday morning, an explosion left one firefighter dead. The building that exploded was the newly renovated LEAP Incorporated. That nonprofit provides support for people with intellectual disabilities. And here is where the explosion occurred. As you can see, there is white wall stuffing coating the lawns and streets for hundreds of feet from where the explosion occurred. You can even see that the windows have been blown out of this van.
We want to protect all other communities from this kind of thing happening too, and make sure that we get to the cause and origin and exactly what happened and why, and make sure it doesn't happen to anybody else again.
The preliminary investigation looks like it may have been a propane or a natural gas leak. That's in the very early stages of the investigation. LEAP Incorporated has released a statement on Monday's explosion. There was an explosion at LEAP's central office this morning. Staff were evacuated, and to the best of our knowledge, no LEAP staff were in the building at the time of the explosion. First responders and a LEAP maintenance person were injured in the blast. Our hearts go out to anyone injured or impacted today. There were many heroes whose actions today saved additional lives. Those heroes included first responders, LEAP staff, and neighbors.
Go live, right! Old Town! Go live, right! Old Town!
What's different about Riverfest this year is we recently had a fire that impacted our downtown, and it was one of those events that was devastating to the community. But getting back on our feet and celebrating Riverfest with a two-day celebration that started off today with a parade.
Old Town's Riverfest is normally a day of food and fun. This year, the community is rallying after a devastating fire downtown left multiple people homeless and businesses destroyed. Earlier this week, an apartment building on Stillwater Avenue caught fire and displaced 11 more. Old Town's first responders have been busy, so when they came through the parade, they received a warm welcome. After the parade, people were lining up for Old Town Strong t-shirts, the money of which goes to the New Life Church, who is helping those who've been affected by the fire downtown.
We saw that Old Town Strong was going pretty rapid. I had said it once on Facebook, and people were just sharing like crazy. So I decided, what about t-shirts? And I put the word out there, and everybody's like, if you do them, I'll get them.
The amount of community support that we've seen, with people just helping their neighbors and pouring out, donations, and just love the people that have lost their homes and their businesses is outstanding. We've had great support here in Old Town.
When something drastically happens and changes the town as a community, it takes a community to come together to build that back up.
Owen Kingsley, WABI TV5 News, Old Town.
I would say this has probably been one of the most complex projects we've had in the history of freshwater, just given the size of the pieces, the complexity of the geometry, the timeline, the collaboration. It's really tested all our capabilities, and we've included all our departments in finishing the work.
Freshwater Stone in Orland recently finished a monument weighing 120,000 pounds that pays homage to the FBI.
We actually are staging the stones right now. Monday of next week, we're going to load 6 trucks, and then we're going to send them down to Quantico.
But the process of building this monument has taken months. Standing at 14 feet tall when assembled, the creators saw the smaller models come to life.
It's been a 7-day-a-week process. We've had people coming in all throughout the weekend to start the saw, to stop the saw, to move to the next step. and to get the next pieces ready. So we've been working on it steady since March.
And these are where the saws are used to cut through the massive stone. The monument is made out of a special granite which was first brought through the diamond wire saw, a thick diamond-infused wire that cuts stone blocks into its basic shape. Water is jetted into the cut so that the saw doesn't overheat. Then they bring it to either the smaller or larger bridge saw, which cuts and shapes the rock much more precisely. Once the pieces have been brought to Virginia, they will be reassembled outside of the FBI Academy in the coming weeks. A fitting end to a monumental task. Owen Kingsley, WABI TV5 News, Orland.
On behalf of everyone in Nine Dragons Paper Group, I would like to express our warm welcome and sincere gratitude to you for your support through the restart of the mill.
After $46 million in renovations over the past year, Nine Dragons Paper, a company headquartered in China, has reopened the Old Town Mill, which means 130 new jobs. The hope is the mill will indirectly bring other jobs back to the Old Town region.
To see this mill revitalized and reopening, employing 130 people directly, creating nearly 900 jobs in the supply chain, that's great news, not just for Old Town, but for the entire state.
The plan is for the mill to produce 150,000 tons of paper pulp once production starts, and the hope is that figure will grow to reach 270,000 tons. Those at the reopening celebration believe this will play a huge role in revitalizing the local and state economies, sparking their new mill motto, Old Town, New Beginning.
People feel good that there's something happening here, that it's not empty anymore, and they're going to see activity and trucks going in and out. I mean, I think that's a confidence builder for the community, and who knows what other spin-off opportunities there will be.
Nine Dragons Paper also presented a gift of 100 trees to be planted in the city. Owen Kingsley, WABI TV5 News, Old Town.